If you're a nurse in Nigeria or you're planning to practice as a nurse in Nigeria this 2026, it's important for you to understand the new Nigeria tax system and how it affects you as a nurse, because us as nurses, we earn salary and we have to understand what exactly is going to enter into our account at the end of the month, just to for us to be able to plan out, for us to be able to go about our daily activities. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. But disclaimer, I'm not a tax expert or anything like that, but I am a nurse, so I did research concerning this new tax system to understand it for myself, first of all, and also to be able to explain to you guys. So let's get right into the video. First of all, when is this tax system or this tax law going to come into effect? It's coming into effect January 1st, 2026. This means that every amount of money or whatever money you have in your bank account before January 2026 is not liable to be taxed by the government. But then from January 1st, 2026, any income or any salary that you receive is liable to be taxed by the government. So I just wanted to put that clarification. So it does not mean that all your money that's in your bank account, everything that's in your bank account will be taxed. That you have as January 1st, 2026 will be taxed. No, it's not. That's not what it means. So yeah, that's the first thing you need to know. So now the second thing is, first of all, this personal income tax. What exactly is it? It's just the government taking a particular percentage of your money as tax. That's essentially what this means. So the percentage that is being taken from our accounts or from our money varies from person to person, or varies depending on the level of pay that you have. So for example, what I am taxed might not be what you are taxed, because of the amount of money or the amount of salary that we have. My very gross salary, your gross general salary, that's your salary at the end of the month, is different from what is going to be taxed. So what the government says is that if you're earning less than 800,000 naira a year, a year, you will not be taxed. So you're nothing concern you concern tax. But if you're earning above 800,000 naira a year, then you're going to be taxed. If your income in a year, you're going to be taxed. So yeah, I know I'm particularly talking about nurses, but then we might also have side incomes like our business and whatever thing that we might be doing that is also bringing in income. So if your all your income, your salary, everything put together at the end of the year is less than 800,000 naira, you're not going to be taxed. But if it's above 800,000 naira, then you're going to be taxed. But then we have to understand that there's a difference between the taxable income and actually the gross salary that we have. So your taxable income is what is going to be taxed and not your gross salary, not your general salary. So the taxable income is what you have after all the deductibles have been made. So deductibles can vary from person to person. You just have to understand what applies to you. Deductibles can include rent allowance, work allowance, pension, what again, NHIS, stuff like that, insurance and stuff like that. So you have to just make a research, know the kind of deductible that applies to you, and then after you know that, you will now be able to get your taxable income. When you get your taxable income, then you can calculate how much tax will be paid. For someone like me that I just like to plan and know what is actually going to enter into my account and what I'm going to have. This is important just for you to be able to know exactly what you are expecting. So after the what did I say? After you've gotten your taxable income, after you got your taxable income, then is to calculate the tax you're going to be um paying. So I'm going to leave it on the screen. Like I said before, below 800k taxable income is not going to be taxed, but from above 800k is going to be taxed. So for example, now if you fall, like from what you are seeing on the screen, if you fall within 800,001 to 3 million, you're going to be taxed at 15%. But then it's not that simple as how it looks on the screen, because first of all, you're going to calculate the part that is not taxable, that is from 0 naira to 800k was not taxed. So from 800k to 3 million, that is what is going to be taxed. So that is the part that you're taxing at 15%. So that is the part you're going to calculate at 15% to know your tax, or to know the amount that you're going to be paid. So if your taxable income falls between 3 million to 12 million, you'll be taxed at 18%. Again, the same principle applies. First of all, you calculate the part that is not deductible, that is the part that is not taxable, that is 0 to 800. And then after that, you then calculate the part that is taxable at 15%, that is 800k to 3 million. And then you then calculate the one that is 3 million to 12 million, just so that you know exactly what you're taxing and will be able to understand and be able to give accounts for your money. So yeah, that is what's one thing you should know. Obviously, from the chart, from what you're seeing on the screen, you know that the higher you go, the more tax you will pay. It does not mean that we should stay one level. It does not mean that we will stay one level because we don't want to pay more tax. But then the point is that the more money you make, the more tax you're going to be paying. Now, it's important for us to know who exactly can be taxed. First of all, let's start with students. If you're a student and you are not earning a salary, you're not earning an income, you don't have a business, you will not be taxed. But if you have a business and then your business is up to the what I just mentioned, the earnings I just mentioned, then you will be taxed. That's the first one. Then if you're a nurse working, whatever work you're doing, whether it's the traditional nursing, whether you're working remotely as a nurse, whatever thing that you are doing as a nurse, you will be taxed as far as your earnings are above the um what I just mentioned, then you will be taxed. So what if you're teaching online as a nurse, if you're a content creator as a nurse, or whatever thing you are doing. I know I'm just being particular about nurses because you guys are family, we are family, a community here. So whatever thing you are doing online that is giving you earnings, and this earnings is above or has reached this limit of being taxed, then you'll be taxed. So whatever, yeah, for those that are in Nigeria, for those that are in Nigeria, but then somehow our source of livelihood is coming from abroad, is coming from overseas, you will still be taxed as far as it matches or it's up to the earnings that was mentioned. You get. So yeah, that is something that we just have to put at the back of our minds, because some people are saying that if you're working remotely or whatever means that you're working, you might not be taxed. You will be taxed. You will still be taxed. So yeah, another thing to know is what cannot be taxed as a nurse, or as in what is that thing in your bank account, or whatever earnings that you have, or whatever money that is coming to your bank account that cannot be taxed. The first one is money just sitting in your bank account will not be taxed. Like I said, money just sitting in your bank account before 1st of January 2026 will not be taxed. But then any earnings that comes in, like I mentioned before, is liable to be taxed. Another thing that will not be taxed is loans. Loans will not be taxed. That is why it's important for us to put out our description. Like we already know now, most people are knowing that if we are sending out money to family, whatever person you're sending out money to, we have to put in the description. So if it's a loan, please indicate that it's a loan. And then another thing that will not be taxed is gifts. Gifts will not be taxed. But then you might be wondering, how will the government know if it's a gift or not? Because everybody's saying that any money now they're transferring will be a gift. But then how are we going to know if it's a gift or it's not a gift? The first way is through the description, and secondly through the source of the income, through who is selling it to you, or through who you're selling it to. So yeah, if it's from an organization, there might be questions to whether it's a gift or not. You get, that is something that we just have to put in. So for if you're a nurse, there are some things that you just need to do to prepare for this. And the first one I would say is get your thing, your tax identification number. It just helps to track your tax and know when you're paid and when you've not paid, stuff like that. It just makes you to be clean in that aspect. Secondly, you can I hope I did a good work in explaining, but if there's anything that you might still need, you can put it in the comment section, and if I understand and if I know it, I will respond. But then again, you can also make more research concerning this tax issue. And then this one is very important. You have to keep records of your side income hustles. your side income, whatever side income you are having, please keep good record or keep good account of them. And then very, very important, this one, the last one I'm going to say, is that you have to understand what are your reliefs. Some people call it reliefs, some people call it deductibles. What are the deductibles, so that you'll be able to know exactly what your taxable income is, and just know it and be able to calculate the tax that you will pay as an individual, and all. So it's better to know your reliefs or deductible, whatever they call it, and then you'll be able to know exactly how much you're going to be paying as tax. So I hope this video was helpful to you guys, and I hope I did my best to explain it to the best of my knowledge. So yeah, if you have any inputs to make concerning this tax system, please leave it in the comment section, and I'll be happy to understand from your own point of view, and to, yeah, just have communicate on it. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching.